go. Yes.
I didn't realize there was such a capability to go live from Zoom to YouTube. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It is, but we are live though, so we're just gonna wait 2 more minutes. Hopefully we get some more members to come on in. Jabez, is it you, or is it Michael, or is it both of you guys, or is it Miss Sharon?
Me and Michael.
What up? Can we see our faces, please? Thank you. Yes, sir.
There go the fellas. Jabez, you get your stuff, your items?
Yeah,
Cool.
thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Hopefully your mom will stay off my back now.
Not.
All right, well, if other members join into the Zoom call, then we'll just have them join. But let's get started. Welcome. Oh, look at that. Look at that. There we go. Welcome, everyone. BGCM Scholarship Show, back with another episode on Zoom and YouTube Live. We actually have a special guest today for Project Extra Mile, and she's going to do a presentation, a question and answer. I'm going to let her introduce herself, and we really appreciate her for being involved and just talking with us about some different things that she's going to talk about with her organization and in the community. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself, and you go ahead. You got it.
Thank you so much. It's awesome to be a part of this. As I was saying a little ago, I didn't realize that the YouTube and everything was a thing, so that's cool. So my name is Leanna Topko. I am the Policy and Research Coordinator at Project Extra Mile. Just a little bit before I get into that little presentation that was mentioned, I'll say a little bit about myself. Kind of sort of new to Omaha, but I guess I've already been here for, I think, more than 5 years, which I didn't realize until just now thinking about it. I finished my undergrad at the University of Iowa and then came here for my master's. And just throughout school, high school, younger, and even undergrad, I wasn't sure what I really wanted to do, just kind of looking out, seeing what interests me. And Project Extra Mile is a nonprofit in Omaha, though we do try to have a statewide reach. And we focus on reducing alcohol-related harms. So, I mean, I've seen ads, I've seen a lot of alcohol in the stores, didn't really think much of it. So through this organization, I've learned quite a bit. I'm gonna try to share my screen, if that's, oh, maybe I can't.
It won't work for you? It won't work for you? It's weird.
It says host disabled.
Wow, Jermaine.
Let's see. We'll try to.
It should work
turn it
now.
up here.
Hey, there we go. Thank you.
Yep.
Kind of gonna do it old school so I can try to get some participation. So it'll be through my PDF version of this. But so like I said, we're a nonprofit here in Omaha, focusing on alcohol-related harms, and not just underage, overall, any age category. So I have a couple participants. I can maybe try to get you guys to pop in on the chat. What is the legal drinking age in Nebraska? If I can figure this out. Oh. Maybe. There's the chat. Perfect. And then how about in the US?
You said what?
I'm sorry, what?
You said what? I didn't hear you.
And also for the US, what's the legal drinking age? Sorry, I'll try to be clear on my questions. And then I'll take it even further of, does anybody know legal drinking age kind of around the world? If it's the same, if it varies. The 19, that could possibly be in different countries. So mostly it varies from what I've seen from about 16 to 21 and maybe even older. In some countries, there's different states like in the US, and that might vary as well. It's quite interesting. Let's see if I can get this. So the problem, unfortunately, is that the alcohol industry does a lot of advertising, and unfortunately is also geared towards youth. So a lot of times you may see, or you'll kind of see it everywhere. You can see it on TV, listen to it on the radio. Sometimes it'll pop up on social media if someone searched something on the same computer you're using. And a lot of times it's kind of makes it look kid friendly, like, oh, all the colors, or youth friendly, just maybe try to make it look like another item that would be legal for youth to consume. Excuse me. And actually a lot of youth see more commercials for beer than juice, gum, chips, shoes, or jeans, which that's a lot. And unfortunately they're not very well regulated, or there aren't many laws focusing on, hey, you shouldn't focus on youth, or, well, because it's illegal for them to consume, obviously. But a lot of times there are commercials out there that make it kind of look like, oh, it's a carefree world, or everyone's doing it, so it's okay. And hey, it's okay. There's some health benefits, which no, there really are not. And let's take a look at some examples that I have popped up. If it's easier for you guys to answer my questions vocally rather than chat, that's perfectly fine on this next one. I'll let you defer to what's your preference. So here are a bunch of different ads for various drinks. What are some things or themes that you notice by looking at these? Anyone? Deadpool, okay, yeah. And he's obviously a Marvel character, so Marvel is from youth to older. Everybody likes Marvel, or a lot of people, I can't say everybody. Anything else that you notice? Okay, yep, so that's the brand, yep. So overall, it's very kind of positive messaging and happy, and hey, there are 3 young ladies, looks like they're having fun. Deadpool, a Marvel character we discussed. Weekends were made for whiskey. Well, you don't have to have whiskey or other alcoholic beverages to have fun. Or Truly is kind of one of the newer items, the hard seltzers, where it's flavored water, except it's alcoholic. So sometimes people can confuse these of, well, maybe it's not actually alcoholic, and maybe it's healthy for me. No, unfortunately, it is not. And it's especially dangerous to youth because brains are still developing, and adding a substance like that can alter that development. And the brain isn't actually fully developed until the 20s for men and women, or boys and girls. I don't think this video will unfortunately work, so I'll skip over that. So of these two, we'll start with the cans. Which of these is alcohol? The one on the left or the one on the right?
If you wanted, you can send me that link and we can play it.
Sure.
Or you can also, since you're sharing it, no, you can click it. It'll work.
I don't know if the sound goes through. That's why I wasn't sure.
Oh, yeah, it should. Yeah, it should go through.
Oh, except now I think it's only sharing my. Here, I'll send it to you actually, maybe. Do you still see the PDF, or do you see the video pulling up?
Oh, we see the PDF, but you can just send it in the chat, and then whenever we're done sharing the screen, then we can just play the video.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Not very good, used to presenting on Zoom yet. I've been to enough meetings, but the presentation part is a little difficult for me. All right, so back to this. So, okay, the one on the right is the alcohol, right? Or no? I forget which one I asked.
The right is alcohol.
The one on the right is what? Sorry.
Alcohol.
Alcohol, okay.
Or
And then
wait,
of the two bottles, which one do you think is the alcohol?
Oh, I didn't notice that. Oh, okay. So
Yep.
the Sparks and the Jack Daniels.
Sparks and Jack Daniels, yeah, those are the two alcohols. But you can see how very similarly packaged they are. And unfortunately, my question wasn't clear in the beginning. So it's easy to consume. Jones Soda, when I was in high school, I absolutely loved that stuff. Green Apple was my favorite. And then NOS is the energy drink. So why do you think the alcohol industry may target youth, even though it's illegal for youth to consume? Any thoughts? Okay. Exactly, they are the next customers, very right. And a lot of times the research shows that the more of a certain brand that you see of something, whether it's shoes or in this case, we're talking about alcohol, you're more likely to gravitate toward that in the future, or even when you are underage, it's like, oh, maybe I want to try this. Let me see if I can. Please don't. But that's just kind of the thought process behind that. And the other thing is the industry makes a lot of profit off of their products, whether it's the adult consuming or minors. And in 2012, just in the state of Nebraska, underage youth sales were worth $54 million. 54 million, and that's just underage. So they definitely focus their target, their marketing towards youth, and then especially when you see that kind of a large number for those. So unfortunately, the things that they aren't telling you are the things that are really important, such as the risk of alcohol poisoning, or you can have an accident and fall, hit your head, break your arm. For youth, especially since your brains are still developing, there's a reduced learning and school potential. So if maybe you want to go on later in life to go to college, or a certain job has different requirements, it could impede that and unfortunately prevent you from doing so. There's the risk of depression and suicide, or just in general impaired decision making and violence of different kinds. And sadly, the industry does know this, but they still proceed to focus on their product and advertising. So what can you do? You're young, you're powerful, you're the future. A lot of times people will say about different things, it's like, oh, that's just Project Extra Mile. They're paid to do this stuff. They don't really care. That's it. Well, no, we do care. We want to make sure that youth, adults, citizens in general are educated and know what's around them and kind of be on the lookout. And you guys have a unique ability to grab people's attention and be like, hey, this isn't just some adult, this isn't just Project Extra Mile talking. No, these girls and guys care about this. Let me listen, let's see what they have to say, and maybe I should make a change. Maybe there should be some changes in policies or just practices. So some examples of youth leaders. The top picture is the Greensboro Four from the sit-ins during the Civil Rights Movement. Then the March of Our Lives youth from Parkland, Florida, after youth and just in general the public were fed up of shootings in schools, and they decided, no, I have a voice and I want my voice heard. And then there's the Dover Youth to Youth Coalition that does focus on alcohol and other substances. And even now, just look around what's been going on. I know you guys had a discussion about the protests and the what's been going on this past week or two, actually, I guess. There's a lot of people out in the streets because they're upset, they're angry, they're sad of what's going on. And I'm sure you've also seen a lot of youth. Maybe you guys have been on the street saying, this is enough. I want a change. And because you are young and you are the future, you have that ability. And we as Project Extra Mile would like to help you maybe develop those skills or be a part of this group that we're putting together. Shoot, I lost track of my slides. Oops, wrong way. Good gracious. I know I did focus quite a bit on marketing today, but there are other ways to impact the harms about the alcohol-related harms and reduce those harms, such as availability and price. And those can be topics for the future. I will not get into those today. Those just kind of an FYI for you guys. So then other things that you can do and other things that our group would like to have youth do, and we can help in any way that we can, is maybe there's a policy you want to see changed, since our focus is around alcohol, so it'd be that. But anything you learn with us, you can take into the future. And right now with civil justice, there's a social justice unrest and police brutality and everything like that. Policies need to be changed. I'm sure you've seen that in the news, and it's just a skill that we'd like to help you develop and use in the future. Maybe you're interested in making presentations, whether it's in your school to groups such as the Boys and Girls Club. There's also media campaigns that kids can do, or youth, I'm sorry, not kids. Or just engage in conversation with either a city council member, a state senator, heck, your principal. Hey, I saw this policy in the school. Can we talk about it? And just have a discussion with somebody. I kind of went through things a little bit quickly, a little bit muddled, but are there any questions for me?
No questions? Do you guys go into the schools and do programs?
Unfortunately, we do not go into the schools. There are other organizations that do that. We're kind of, we used to have this youth leadership component. I believe it was 2015 that it kind of fizzled because of turnover and employees and just kind of things were moving in a different focus. And we definitely want to get back to that and just have a group where our hope is to meet once a month, gear the presentations and that 1 hour that we'd spend together on what the youth would like to do, what they would like to see, discuss, and just help them build those skills. So right now we're still in the process of building that up. And obviously right now we're also trying to do Zoom, and thanks to you guys at Boys and Girls Club, we're able to reach some youth.
Cool.
How can someone be, I guess, involved? Well, this is kind of different than the situation that we had before, but like, what are some of the steps in a sense to, I guess, get involved in this?
Sure. So our next presentation, let me just go to that slide and we can continue questions, is going to be on Monday, July 13th at 2, also with the Boys and Girls Club with Zoom. I never know which preposition to use on that one. And we hope to continue doing this once a month. Once COVID has calmed down and restrictions are lifted and we're able to move around more freely, we'd like to meet in person. Before all this started, we did have, I believe it was 2 meetings at the Boys and Girls Club at 4 o'clock, which was great, just to interact with youth, see what, discuss with them, what are they seeing, what are they hearing, what do they want to talk about, and just different topics. So for right now, that next meeting, I think we're going to focus on alcohol and COVID, just because there are so many things going on, and the alcohol can also impede. It doesn't help. Like, you could you could be at greater risk of developing COVID, or a lot of times, like I mentioned before, alcohol is also associated, or excessive alcohol use anyway, is associated with violence and stuff like that. And unfortunately, child abuse, domestic violence, those rates are also appearing to go up, which is not great. Or individuals who maybe made the decision of, hey, I'm gonna quit, I'm gonna start a new life for myself. This has definitely hurt them quite a bit of possibly relapsing and getting back into old habits. So just kind of learning what's out there and what we're seeing.
Nice. Nice.
Well, what group are you doing it for Monday?
I don't know. I know Katie set this up, so it's through you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So unfortunately, I'm not sure we can discuss further.
I'm sure it's one of our teen programs, because they actually start at 2:00, so it's probably
Okay,
one
yeah.
of the teen groups.
Yeah, she was mentioning it's a lot of high schoolers that kind of come together. It's like, great.
Yep.
Nice.
Cool.
I was going to ask, in previous years, have there been any youth that say that if they turn 18, 19, I guess try to, in a sense, I guess come back to work with you guys or be a volunteer or do things like that? Has that happened over the past years or so, or year, or however you want to say it?
I'm still, I can't say I'm new. I wasn't around when the old group was
Oh, okay.
happening. But there are individuals who we've interacted with who maybe came, not through the youth group, but came to volunteer with us for a little bit for a school project. And then one gentleman, after finishing high school and moving on to the university, he actually came back and joined our board of directors. We don't have too terribly many volunteer opportunities, but we try if a student has a project, it's like, yeah, let's see what we can find for you. What are you interested in? What would be beneficial? We've had a young lady present to the Liquor Control Commission, and once again, hearing that young voice is quite powerful, and people take notice when youth are speaking up about issues.
Definitely. Nice. That's cool. That's cool. Any other questions? Jalen, you got a question? Nope, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Quiet group.
Sorry. I'm just gonna quit sharing, or here's my contact information for anybody that maybe wants to reach out. You can give us a call at the office, or feel free to email me.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to ask. Like, how could they contact you and things like that? So this is perfect. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, you guys are far.
Yeah, we're
Yes, farther
120th
from
and
here, I
now.
should say. Yeah.
Or right now we're in our homes, but it's okay.
True, true, true.
Yep. We've been there.
True.
Okay, I will stop sharing my screen for you guys.
Well,
Appreciate
Randy,
your
you have
time
any-
though with this.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I'm looking forward to if we can do something in the future. Or I guess it is, we are doing something in the future, but what it will be and so on. It's a great
Yeah,
partnership.
hopefully we can expand it too. And, once things do open up, AJ leads daily programming at our clubs. I think this is something that we can definitely implement into that.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I definitely agree. For sure, for sure. The two guys came back. I guess we can ask them if they have any questions before we kind of end a little early compared to usual. Jabez and Mike, you guys have any questions? If you're there, they're not there. I don't know what they're doing.
Audio goes in and out sometimes.
Well, if there's no more questions, and we got your information, which is great, and then we'll also be hearing back from you on July 13th at 2 p.m. Most likely, I'm assuming for voice, but
June 13th, right?
July.
Oh, it is next month. Okay.
I'm about to say, well, June 13th is a Saturday. I was like,
Oh, it is July. Oh, it is next week. Okay.
I just can't believe it's June in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, time's been flying.
It definitely has. Well, if there's no more questions from anyone, we really appreciate you for being involved today on our YouTube show. And thank you for everybody that's tuning in. Please, if you want to be involved in Project Extra Mile, you've seen on the contact, you can definitely contact them and be involved for sure. And if you're involved in Voice, I'm assuming it's Voice, July 13th, 2 p.m. They'll be presenting there and having a conversation regarding the organization. So everyone stay blessed. Thank you again for being involved in talking with us about the organization. And thank you all. Have a great weekend and be safe.
Thank you.
Thanks, Leanna.